the Brooklyn Nets might have just pulled off the quietest steal of the NBA offseason. A young guard who never got his chance in Atlanta, a franchise caught between rebuilding and competing, and a fan base desperate for hope. This is the story of Kobe Bufkin, and why his journey in Brooklyn might be the perfect example of how a fresh start can completely flip a player's career. Who is Kobe Bufkin? Let's start at the beginning. Kobe Bufkin came out of Michigan in the 2023 draft. Picked 15th overall by the Atlanta Hawks. Scouts saw a crafty left-handed guard who could score from all three levels, defend multiple positions, and had the kind of frame that screamed upside. At Michigan, his growth was rapid. By his sophomore year, he was averaging over 14 points per game, with shooting splits that showed promise. 48% from the field, 35% from three, and nearly 85% from the free throw line. He wasn't just efficient, he was poised. His draft comps ranged from a smoother Tyrese Maxey to a young CJ McCollum. But like so many young guards drafted into crowded backcourts, Bufkin's rookie season never really got off the ground. What went wrong in Atlanta? Atlanta was the wrong place, wrong time. The Hawks already had Trae Young, one of the highest usage guards in the league, and DeJounte Murray, another ball-dominant guard they had just paid heavily to acquire. Where exactly was Bufkin supposed to fit? He missed time early with a wrist injury, then struggled to crack the rotation once healthy. By the end of the season, he had played in just 17 games, averaging under 3 points per night. For a mid-first round pick, that's dangerously close to being forgotten. And here's the harsh reality. In the NBA, opportunity often matters more than talent. Brooklyn's bet. That's where Brooklyn comes in. After the collapse of the Durant-Kyrie-Harden experiment, the Nets find themselves in NBA purgatory. Not bad enough to tank for Victor Wembanyama. Not good enough to contend. They have interesting players. Mikal Bridges, Nick Claxton, Cam Johnson. But no true star. So what do you do when you're stuck in the middle? You hunt for upside. You take chances on players who might have been written off too early. For Brooklyn, Bufkin is exactly that kind of swing. And here's the key. They got him for almost nothing. Cash considerations. A trade that didn't even make headlines. A move most fans ignored. But sometimes, those are the trades that change everything. Why Bufkin fits. Brooklyn's roster quietly makes sense for Bufkin. They don't have a dominant on-ball guard. Spencer Dinwiddie is gone. Ben Simmons, and Cam Thomas, despite his insane scoring explosions, hasn't carved out a consistent role. That opens the door for Bufkin to actually touch the ball, to run pick and rolls, to develop chemistry with Claxton and Bridges. Think about it. When was the last time the Nets had a young guard they actually developed into a cornerstone? You probably have to go back to D'Angelo Russell's breakout All-Star season in 2019, and that was exactly the same situation. A cast-off from the Lakers, given freedom in Brooklyn, suddenly turning into a star. Could Bufkin be the next version of that story? The history of NBA steals. The NBA is full of guys who look like afterthoughts, until they weren't. Tyrese Maxey barely played his rookie year. Now he's the Sixers' future. Jalen Brunson, a second-round pick who wasn't even considered a starter. Now the Knicks franchise leader. Kyle Lowry bounced around Memphis and Houston before becoming the heart of a championship team in Toronto. These aren't one-in-a-million stories. They happen every few years. And they happen because the franchise was willing to give a player the one thing Atlanta couldn't give Bufkin: opportunity. The risks. Of course, there's the other side. For every Jalen Brunson, there are 5 names you don't even remember. Guards who had talent but never found the consistency. Emmanuel Mudiay, Dennis Smith Jr., Dante Exum. Brooklyn fans know this pain too. Remember Chris McCullough? Isaiah Whitehead? These upside picks sometimes just flame out. The question is whether Bufkin's flashes are real or just flashes. Because make no mistake, the NBA doesn't wait forever. The numbers don't lie. Here's where it gets interesting. Per 36 minutes, Bufkin's rookie season stats look surprisingly solid. 15 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Small sample size, yes. But those numbers put him in the same ballpark as other rookie guards who eventually broke out. And defensively, he's already ahead of the curve. At 6'4" with a near 6'8" wingspan, he has the tools to guard both backcourt spots. Brooklyn desperately needs that versatility. Brooklyn's bigger dilemma. This isn't just about Bufkin, it's about Brooklyn's future. The Nets are walking a tightrope. Do they fully rebuild? Trade Mikal Bridges, bottom out, and chase a top pick? Or do they keep adding pieces like Bufkin, hoping one of them blossoms into a star while staying competitive? History says the middle is dangerous. Just ask the Orlando Magic from 2012 to 2019, or the Sacramento Kings before they finally broke through with the Aaron Fox. But sometimes all it takes is one unexpected leap. And if Bufkin hits, Brooklyn suddenly looks a lot more interesting. The psychology of a fresh start. Here's something fans often overlook: the mental side. Imagine being 20 years old, drafted into the NBA, but never getting real minutes. Every game, you're in a suit on the bench watching. Every practice, you wonder if the team actually believes in you. That kills confidence. Now imagine getting traded. New city, new teammates, new coach, but most importantly, new opportunity. That can completely reset a player's mindset. It happened with Chauncey Billups, who bounced around 4 teams before becoming Finals MVP in Detroit. It happened with Victor Oladipo, written off in Orlando and OKC before exploding in Indiana. Sometimes all it takes is belief. Loisy was what's next. So where does this leave us? Kobe Bufkin is not a guaranteed star. He might never average 20 points per game. He might be out of the league in 3 years. But he also might be the exact kind of low-cost, high-upside gamble that Brooklyn needs. For the Nets, this is about more than Bufkin. It's about proving they can develop talent again. About giving fans a reason to believe in the future. Not just a past super team experiment. And for Bufkin, it's about redemption. A chance to show he belongs. Because in the NBA, timing is everything. And sometimes, the smallest trades become the biggest stories. So what do you think? Is Kobe Bufkin the Nets' next breakout star? Or just another name we'll forget in a few years? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to understand why trades like this happen, check out our deep dive on why NBA teams sometimes trade players for nothing but cash considerations. Trust me, you don't want to miss that one.